the bat. There we go. There we go. There we go. That's number 3. Holy cow. Look at that right there. Check out that fatty. Welcome back, fishing friends, to another adventure. All right, guys, I'm up here in the Tishomingo National Wildlife Refuge, and I'm gonna be trying to catch some crappie. There's the main road. Here's the other side. I'm gonna be trying to catch some crappie and some striper, some bass. Oh my gosh. Look over there, there's 2 gar floating. There's a big one here. Oh man. We got all kinds of stuff going on. Look at the bait fish out there. Holy cow. I'm gonna be trying to do some crappie fishing, so for the most part, but I also have my usual stuff. All right, guys, I'm gonna get to my spot and get rigged up. Hey, if you're new to the channel, thanks for stopping by. I really appreciate it. And for everyone, I hope your fishing is going well, and I'm happy you popped in to see what was going on today. All right, let's get rigged up. All right, guys, take a look right there. See that big hole in the concrete? These big black hornets keep flying in and out of there. So hopefully they're not gonna bug me too much. All right, so I'm rigged up with my little trout magnet experiment on this little Southern Pro tube. It's kind of like a minnow color. And then I want to try the Whopper Plopper for sure. But we're going to give this a shot here for a little bit. Alright guys, so I'm using my typical stuff, 5-foot ugly stick. It's got 6-pound line on it. Lose speed spin 100. Ooh, I felt a little tug there. So the water is kind of shallow. Just kind of throwing this little look-alike minnow. But you can kind of see here where there was some flooding and where everything got washed up. So they've had some rain in here. The water is severely stained. I'm going to try to fire it under the bridge here. Kind of by that log. I'm not using the bobber for now. There we go. We're hooked up, boys. Oh! Did you see that? Sorry, my hat cam needed adjusting there. Did you see that? It was a little striper. Boy, he was aggressive too. Just right along the wall there. Here comes one of these stinking hornets flying into his little house. Alright, bye, guys. I'm just bombing the Whopper Plopper 75, and I had a hit. This one's on my 6-foot ugly stick, 20-pound braid, 6-pound, 20-pound fluorocarbon leader. Boy, I threw it right over that little bait swarm and just got hammered. Ooh, watch out for the tree. I maybe should have switched to the 60. This one's a 75. There's just so many bait fish out there. Just going bananas. I don't know if you can see them all. Well, I had that good one. They had that one little bite on the tube. And then that was it. Did you see that? Jeez. A gar came up and just popped the hell out of that. There's a gar messing with it. Ooh, I got him. I got you, you sucker. He took a swipe at it. Come on. I don't know if you guys can see him down there. The thing is, it's going to be hell to try to get him up here. Alright, we'll see what we can do. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Whew. I was going to have to long line him up here. Let me check my hooks. Oh, the hooks are fine. That one, I couldn't tell if it was a spotted gar or just a long-nosed gar or whatever. I'm trying to catch these striper in here and these dang bass. And that gar, he just didn't like that thing coming by him, and he just turned around and chopped at it like a gator. Oh man, that was kind of funny. Alright guys, I'm going to switch to this Heddon Super Spook Junior. Ooh, there went a deer. It's really a saltwater lure, but it's got some good topwater action if you do it right. Ooh, there we go. So it's got the rattles in there. I'm just going to twitch it. Just walking along. And just let it do its thing. Yeah, it's looking good. Right in there, it's got kind of like a shad pattern. I know there's red on it, but God, there's so many stinking bait fish there. And I've seen these stripers hitting the surface. There was a gar looking at it. Alright, so I'm going to keep throwing this and see what we get. Guys, I threw this Super Spook Junior for, I don't know, quite a bit. So I'm going to switch to this Whopper Plopper 90. This loon color, it's seen a lot of action over the years. And the bait fish are still flopping around out there, so I'm just casting in that direction and hoping that we'll get a nice bass. If not, it may be time to switch to the Kalins or one of those Berkeley twitch tails, or go back to fishing for crappie. So the temperature's already like 90, 92 degrees. There's virtually no wind. And that can be a real problem in Oklahoma and in Texas. You can get a lot of wind. But down in here, we're doing okay. I think this is called Big Sandy Creek, and it flows into Lake Texoma. I try not to really name drop where I'm fishing, but this is such a big place and so many places to explore. I think it's okay. Well, I've had a couple of swipes here and there on the Whopper Plopper that weren't gar. I just got to get one. Alright, guys. Ooh, there's a big gar right there. I switched to the Kalins on a 1/4 ounce jig head. So we're just going to fire it out around and see if we can come up with something. That's good stuff. Looks good in the water, and you don't need to crank it back very fast either. Just let it do the work for you. Alright guys, nothing on the Kalins except right when I was reeling it up in here close, I had a gar take a swipe at it, but no damage done to the Kalins, and I didn't catch the gar. Now I'm just dragging this tube through a bunch of this logs and blow down or whatever flooded out junk. It's just a little 4-inch tube, typical stuff I always use. On the bass rig, the other bass rig, the other one that I've got, the 6-foot ugly stick, 20-pound braid, 20-pound fluorocarbon. So what I'm doing is I'm just dragging this along the bottom here. I'm hoping that it gains a lot of attention, you know. And then I kind of let it pause for a little bit. And then I'll do it again. I don't think the gar will go after stuff like this, but you never know. And there's just some big bass in here, and I haven't been able to entice anything yet. Alright guys, you know, I think the beetle spin is 100% money, but I'm going to try one of these Mr. Twister spinners, little twister spinner, and I put on a, it's kind of hung up there, a little twister tail, the little double tail on there. And we're going to see how this is going to work. So far nothing, just that one little baby striper that I pulled up, and then that gar. Oh man, this feels good. Yeah, I can feel that blade engaging. It's got some good depth. Oh yeah, it looks good in the water. Alright. So we should have some success with this guy. I'm going to try over here where I've caught some crappie before. Some of the leaves are starting to turn, guys, since we're heading towards October. We're still in early September, but some of them are starting to turn, not all of them. Here, since we're so far down in the south, it takes a lot longer than it does up north. One thing I have yet to do is to experience any fall fishing up in Iowa. Man, I bet that's fun. Wisconsin, Minnesota. Oops. I'd love to be able to do that sometime. Let's see if I can get this under the bridge. Not quite. Ooh, I felt a pop. Not a lot of success today. And there's so many different species that are in here. All kinds of different types of bass. You got crappie, gar, catfish. Surprised I didn't get anything on the tube. I've tried different MEPs, guys. I've tried all kinds of stuff. The streamer, number 4, Aglia, just all kinds of stuff, and no luck. If you look down there, guys, a gar just hammered the hell out of like a little shad or like a little striper, but he didn't get him. He got away, and so this funny little fish is like knocked out or something. He'll float, and then he'll try to swim away. I switched back to that little trout magnet. See, he's trying to swim, but he just got hammered. I don't know how the gar missed him or why he didn't come back for him. I'm still using that little trout magnet in a tube. Nothing yet. Alright guys, I think I'm hooked up. I am. Check it out. It is a little striper. I knew they were in there. The gar been hitting them. Well, I lost one earlier. Striper, white bass, whatever the heck these things are. Another little nickel. Hit on the MEPS XD, if I can get it up here. Hit on that MEPS XD. It's got the kind of a trout color, they call it. Just right out there in the middle. All right. Kind of a little guy. Let's let him go. There he goes. Yeah, guys, this is a size 3. And so that little guy was going after that. But man, I love the MEPS. They're pretty much my go-to. In my last video, I posted all that info about them and how if you catch a fish, you tell your story, they'll put it up there for you. It's good stuff. Hopefully we'll get some bigger ones than that one we just got. I know they're in here. I've caught them before. Well guys, earlier on, nothing on the MEPS, not even a sniff. And since I switched after using all the other stuff, I've had several swipes at it. A couple of those little dinky white bass. I've had a gar hit it. So they're just, man, something about them. Stick with them, and there's usually one that'll work. I switched to the smallest XDs, and it wasn't happening. This size I'm using right now, the number 3, is been doing really well. Guys, it is just so dang hot out here. It's like a stinking sauna. Whew. Sweat through the hat cam, the fishing shirt, everything. It's just stinking hot out here. But hopefully, if I stay consistent with this XD, we'll get something else. I'm gonna keep trying. See how it goes. All right, guys. Fish on. Is it a crappie? I always say that. Ah, it's another one of these little guys. Check it out on the Meps XD. Calm down. It's just one of these little boogers. Another one. Oh man. Look at he's all bug-eyed. I wonder if the sun bugs their eyes like that. I guess it's bad for them. I never really thought about that before. Maybe once or twice, but because those eyes are designed, you know, to be able to see deep in that muck, and when we get them out into that light, I guess it's bad for them. Well, I need a bigger version of that. Those little ones seem to be like on a feeding frenzy, while the big ones are just being lazy. The other thing, guys, is right out there in the middle, a gar came up that looked like the size of a sofa. I mean, it was a behemoth. And I cast it over him. Not intentionally, but that's where I was looking, and I had cast right as I saw him come up. So I had to just kind of let the XD sink there. I don't want to hook something that stinking big. I'd never get him in. Huge. He's still somewhere right out there. I was saying earlier that I tried everything. I even did all the micro stuff, Anisopteta, that little tube. What is that? It's a dirt dauber flying around. And nothing was, I couldn't even catch any of the micro species, panfish. So now I've actually caught a couple of them, those little dime size, nickel size, quarter size little white bass. And it took the Meps to get them in. I don't know what the deal was. Nothing was, not even a little craw, nothing was chasing after that. The thing about these Meps is that just the flash on them. With all that silver, it's just a good solid attractor. And then the hum of the blade, good stuff. Thing is, guys, no crappies. It's very odd. I've caught some big crappies here before and nothing today. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for today. Hey, thanks for hanging around with me today while I was out here. Hey, the other thing is, good news is I hit the 100 sub mark. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Goal number one was just to be able to get a video onto YouTube when I first started doing this. Oh, man. And then the second goal was to try to get 100 subscribers, and I did that, and man, it's been great. So thank you. I appreciate each and every one of you. So it's been a fun ride so far. Now I just got to keep it rolling. 1,000 or bust, and then keep climbing after that. But today, guys, it was such a strange day. On my little micro fishing stuff, like the Anisopteta and those little things, I couldn't even get a panfish to hit. But I did get them to hit on the Meps, and it was those little white bass. One might have been a little striper, but you know, it was kind of a strange day in that regard. Tube didn't get anything. The Kalins, I had a gar swipe at it. The Whopper Plopper, a couple times gar swiped at it. You saw that one where I hooked right down here, and I was just trying to see if I could get him to come off. They're just a pain in the butt to deal with. And then I decided, well, I'll just pull them up here and deal with all that mess. And when I was pulling them up, you know, it's dead weight coming up, and he just, I don't know, he thrashed around and got himself off the Whopper Plopper. The Whopper Plopper 75, those hooks were fine, so, you know, nothing was wrong with them. Everything turned out okay. But, you know, it was pretty interesting. It was, you know, a lot of activity, a lot of bait fish swimming around, smaller fish popping them, but I just couldn't get anything to go, really, to make a run on anything. Even the crappie. Usually I have pretty good luck with crappie here. I was using that little trout magnet in the tube thing, and I used that with a bobber, without a bobber, and nothing. It was just, you know, I think I had one little hit maybe at the start, one of those little silver dollar white bass or little striper that fell straight down there. But you can kind of see in the water now, all this current, all this junk is starting to get through here. Oof. It's looking kind of iffy. But anyway, so that's going to wrap it up for today. Hey, thanks guys for hanging around. Hey, if you've been catching some stuff on the MEPS, any of the MEPS lures, drop a comment on there. And I'm still curious about the tube and any micro fishing you've been doing. And for people who are overseas, you know, what do you guys use for micro fishing? You know, do you have tubes like we have? So just drop a comment in there and let me know. I'm real curious about that, to see what you guys are doing over there. All right. So from the Tishomingo National Wildlife Refuge, I'm signing off, heading back to the worldwide headquarters. And of course, I got to stop along the way and get my diet root beer, if someplace around here's got it. Anyway, all right guys, until next time, I'll see you then. Hey, bye-bye.